Mina igama lami Thubelishe Shamase. Ngibuya KZN eWaterloo. I'm doing a diploma in transportation management. Igama lami Siphumelele Shamase. I'm studying the same course Newelelam, and I'm playing as a left winger.
Normally, I have a very big squad, so I know them when they're here. But if they can come wearing dresses and stuff I'm like, by the way, your name? But when they're at the field, I can tell that who's this one, who's this one. But eventually, they're very good players and talented, very talented. And sometimes they can be tricky. You know, when you have a player that can change the game, that's what I want. Because, you know, when you play in this kind of a league, Hollywood, it's the highest league where you need to have dimension of when you apply your tactics and including their technique as well, because they're too smart. They're just complete players. And the discipline and the welcoming was superb, because even some of the girls were excited to me, actually.
At a young age, when I was 7 years old, we were playing with my homies, and they used to compliment us, ukuthi asiyadlala, so nathi sabona ukuthi hawu kanti besingaboni vele. So there was a coach there who selects us ukuthi sidlale nabafana. So ilapho khona siqale khona ukudlala ibhola from under 11. Sathola ukuselectwa coach thina sonke ukuthi sizojoin i-team amantombazane i-Sunflower. So ilapho khona siqale khona ukuthi sidlale i-team yamantombazane 2015. And after lokho we've been selected to a national team under 17. I-team engisupportayo la South Africa, i-Kaizer Chiefs. Overseas ngithanda i-Manchester United. Player yami engithandayo uMamelo Makhabane. Overseas ngithanda uMegan Rapinoe. Style sabo sokudlala ngiyasithanda, indlela abacontrola ngayo ibhola, nje uyakwazi indlela abadlala ngayo, bakora amagoli nje, bangidlalela kamnandi. Ekhaya ngihlala nogogo nethini lami nosiswethu osilamayo umdala, nengane yasekhaya encane ezalo siswethu. Ekhaya ugogo usikhulise. It wasn't easy because akasebenzi and she's old, so ubheke thina. Bekunzima kakhulu kodwa mesingakwazi mengasitshengisi ukuthi she's struggling, because akafuni isibone situation ukuthi njani, menze ngendlela eningi ukuthi singabona ukuthi siyastrugglisha. La UJ bize, we were playing friendly with UJ, so coach and she called ukuthi ngize ngizodlala. So ngabona ukuthi opportunity right ukuthi ngize ngizofunda ngidlale, ngoba ngiyazi situation yasekhaya ukuthi asikho sharp, so kumele ngifunde ngibe right. So iyo into engizothi ngize la. Ugogo usikhulise ngoba uthi uma wethu passed away when we were only 1 month old. So from there ugogo wethu bekhona njalo sikhulisa ngoba sibangaka njengamanje. Umsebenzi engifuna ukwenza uma ngiqeda ukufunda, I want to be a businesswoman. Ngi-own ama-trucks. Into ebalulekile kumina ukudlala i-sports, then ngifunda ngala ukuthi ngiyazi ukuthi kwi-sports I will get old, then kumele ngiretire. So kumele ngifunde nangala ukuze uma ngiretire ku-football ngikwazi ukuthi nginayo I have something so ezongiboost ukuthi ngiqhubeke ngempilo. Ngifuna ukuyibona sengidlala kwiBanyanya after 2 years. Confidence yami ngithola ngokuthi ngilalela igospel, ngoba sengazi ukuthi mina ngisuke I'm a church goer, so ngilalela igospel ukuze ngithole confidence yami egroundini. Ama-caps angazi mangaki kodwa ama-games esiwadlalile mhlampe more than 10 sidlalile for ama-qualifiers e-World Cup sidlala nabo Botswana, Morocco and all. So qualify for a World Cup 2018. We went to a World Cup playing no Brazil, Mexico, China, Japan. So yeah, somewhere like improve kakhulu because of it development la eMzansi na ngale ko Japan ihlukile in terms of women football. So ngiyacabanga ukuthi kumele like ikhuphuke kakhulu. I-support engiyitholayo inkulu kakhulu. Bayakwazi like ukusinika like ama-soccer boots, ukudla, indawo yokuhlala, yonke into esidingayo bayakwazi usupporta ngayo. Ugogo ujabule kakhulu, angifuni uqamba amanga. Ujabule kakhulu ukuthi igcineni sitholile like ithuba njengamagama ethu Thubelishe noSiphumelele. So mesithola amathuba siyakwazi ukuthi siphumelele. So yeah, ujabulile. Yena kahle kahle kakhulu ukuthi ibhola leli lisifikisile la ngoba ngendlela engafuni ngayo wayibona ngathi like so mhlawumbe sogcina sengathi sabafana yonke lonto ngendlela esiprotecta ngayo yena engafuni ukuthi like se-groundini yabo. Kodwa manje uyabona ukuthi ayikho into engawavimbela yona into abayithanda abazalwa nayo. Yeah. Italent kumele like ulisebenzise. Umunike italent kumele ukuthi ulisebenzise. So akusizi like ukuligcina ngoba sothi ugcina into enkulu nathi silanga ukuba ugogo akazivumelanga ngaba sidlo la. Okokuqala into engi-enjoyayo ukuthi vele la ngisuka khona ngisuka kusasoli ngiya kwi-Hollywoodbets competition ayikho lula. So into engizoyithanda i-competition izonami izongenza ukuthi like ngiyithole ukuthi ngephi yabo nanokuthi izokuvulela amathuba ukuthi mhlambe ngithola i-call up kwibanyanya ngoba ngazi ukuthi ubabukayo ngathola i-call up overseas yabo. I-UJ nginikeze ithuba lokuthi ngifunde ngikwazi futhi nokuthi ngidlale. Ikhona competition and i-high khona amandamthandi abadlala abasuka overseas from Spain experience. Yeah, i-relationship yami no-coach i-right because uyasiphusha asigqugquzela ukuthi sisebenze kanzima siyimisele ngoba like sithatha step sokuthi size la uyasupporta and ufuna like the best team and she believe in us.
Well, when you talk about the twins, the Shamases, these are very good players. Though I've known them since 2013, and the time they come and arrived here, I was so excited because the way I know them, you know, in terms of playing, because the first time when I saw them, we were here under the FLB tournament, under 15 tournament that is used to be the development for scouting players around the country. So I wanted to take them to High Performance Center that is under SAFA. Unfortunately, because you know, as a family, sometimes they don't allow their kids to grow outside their family. So that's when, okay, but fortunately they've been in the national setups and are coaching Lulu that is now coaching TUT. So for me, when they arrived, I knew what I was expecting from these guys. And they are so amazing because sometimes they confuse me. But luckily their hairstyle is different, honestly. The other one is bald, and the other one's got like, you know, dreads, African hairstyles, whatever. So that's easy for me to identify them. And the other one, she's a left footer. And the other one, she's a, okay, basically they're both footed, but they're strong foot. The other one is left footer, the other one is right footer.
I actually am happy to be working with them now because I knew of them a couple of years, you know, seeing them in the junior structures in the national teams. I see them every day, quite a talent, you know, they are very much exciting, you know, I'm always just excited to watch them do whatever it is that they are doing, whether it's passing or dribbling or even doing the tricks and the skills, because they enjoy doing that. And, you know, one other thing that I think they also need for the future would be just to immerse themselves in their training, get further training, because it's very rare that you'll find talented players, they are already sort of like halfway there with the talent, and all that they maybe require right now is to just immerse themselves and just try to continue trying as many tricks as possible and continue elevating from where they are in the current phase. And I think that can also open some doors for them, especially for the senior national team, or even Europe or everywhere else in the world.
When you talk about the girl child, you talk about the nation, you talk about the world. So you cannot just say they are playing good, it's okay, then from there you leave them. And in terms of helping them to sustain their position in the national team, that's where I think I'm good at it. Monitor them. We have the physical trainer. Actually, the university has done everything for these kids, because we have gym, we have physical trainer. I have assistant that I've coached, and she's also my assistant, and she's so brilliant. And the entire team that I have here, it's highly qualified and recommended people that even if I'm not around, I know the treatment will be the same, because we have one weight.
Well, from my personal experience, I think it's everything to do with your talent. It's everything to do with your hard work, your dedication, discipline on and off the pitch, and just kind of being an expertise in terms of the position that you're playing. You shouldn't be a junior. You shouldn't be just an okay player. You have to be very exceptional, especially in terms of making it into the national team.
Naturally, they're very, very shy and reserved. But the players, please. When we do training, everybody wants to be part of the twins. Small-sided, 11v11, you can tell from a distance that, wow, everybody is like, thank you.
What I've realized, and I said this one of the training sessions, when I was watching them, I said these two always find each other. No matter where they could be on the field, they will always find each other. And that, kind of like puts us at an advantage as a team, because they kind of like have a telepathic view of life. They don't even need to be calling each other, but trust the pass will be made from one to the other, and it will always be in the right areas. Around, whenever we interact, I like to banter with them a lot, because I see that actually gets them to be comfortable with me as well. It's not always all the time, business. We do get to play around a little bit, and then when it's time for business, they also switch on. So there is that respect that they show to myself, the head coach, and everybody else. And I think also, knowing that they probably going to get some experience from me, some experience from Coach Anna, and maybe that they can use that for furthering their own careers, especially because we've played in the national teams, and that's somewhere that they would like to see themselves in the near future. So yeah, they do have, but stout, if I may put it that, very naughty, very stout, but ultimately very respectful and always just tuned on.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.